what do we got here? This looks kind of interesting. So there's rebuild. Is that any good? My initial inclination is no. I see like some other decently strong stuff. I mean, the thing that I guess might marginally tip things in favor of rebuild is like Lucky Coin, which pushes things I think a little bit away from engines. But I mean, rebuild could just lose to like straight up money with Lucky Coin around as well. You also got Sentry, which can trash the estate, so I'm pretty sure rebuild is bad here. You've got Settlers, interacts nicely with like Artificer and Dungeon. Also Guide and Rebuild, I guess, technically. And even some of the boons with Fool. It's like a little awkward because there's nothing like amazing here that jumps out. The kingdom is pretty lacking in draw, which makes it hard to do a lot of stuff with Artificer. Like Captain is draw, but like in a sad way here. It's just like a fancy caravan if you play with Guide. Or play Guide with it. I'll take a dungeon as well. Seems like a good opener. Not sure what I want for my second 3. Could be double dungeon even. I think I kind of like double dungeon. I'll see what he does and reconsider after that. I think priority number 1 right now is just to get Sentry. We're going to get thin and then figure out the exact contours of the deck at a later point. Alright, he's thinking hard here. I mean, I guess Fool could be fine, Settlers could be fine, Ducat could be fine. Even a second Silver could be okay. There's the nice Fool Guide interaction where, yeah, he just went with second dungeon. With Fool and Guide, you discard a card from your hand for a boon, and then you can just call Guide to get a 5-card hand again. It's like doubly good if you get like Sky's Gift or Earth's Gift or something that asks you to discard, because you could like discard 1 card for a boon, and then get Sky's Gift, discard 3 more cards for gold, and then just call Guide. I don't know if that's worth like even attempting to set up, but that's like, it's technically a thing. Okay, now I have to consider. I think I have to discard this dungeon. This is a fine shuffle, I think. This is fine. Like, you're always a little bit sad that you can't discard estates, but my estates are going to miss the shuffle anyway, which is good in its own right. If I discarded 2 coppers here and played dungeon again, I would hit 4. And I don't want to hit 4. I want to hit 5. So I have to discard the dungeon. Now he can play both of his dungeons. In fact, he probably will. Because he's already hit 5. I would expect him to play a second dungeon here at least, unless he bottom decked it. I guess he did. It would be weird to me if he had the dungeon there and discarded it in the way that I did. I think it makes less sense from his POV. This is not the ideal set of cards to see. Boo. Do I want to trash either of these? I might. I've got 2 silvers. Could probably kill. I guess I'm now being abruptly forced to consider where my deck actually goes all of a sudden, because I'm not sure. Like, if you want to play like in a more money-ish direction, then you keep the Lucky Coin around and spam silvers. If you want to build bigger, then you should trash it. I don't like this shuffle. I'm unhappy with this shuffle. I didn't even hit 5. Like, seeing Sentry on turn 4 would seem amazing if it had revealed a better set of cards. I think I kind of just want to trash it. I feel like there's things to be done in this kingdom. And do I also want to trash the silver? That's also a question to ask. I think 2 silvers is a fine number. I'll leave the silver on top. I'll take a settlers. Yeah, he must have bottom decked dungeon. Ooh, 2nd century or captain. Both seem like very good buys here. Maybe even artificer. It's probably too early for artificer. With the captain, fair enough. All right, century, do better this time. That's what we like to see. Goodbye, estates. And we'll take. I think I might just want to go straight for the artificer now. I think 1 century. I mean, I already trashed 3 cards, and I think with dungeons, 1 century can probably get the job done. Because you can like discard stuff down to the discard and then trash it. I'm still not totally sure where exactly this deck goes. I've committed to building a bit by trashing my lucky coin. I'm hoping to just like click a bunch of the action cards and things will work out. Like there's some synergies here. Like Artificer can discard coppers and then Settlers can pick them back up. That is if you don't bottom deck it. And also the Sentry. That's a little disappointing. Captain time. He's continuing to take silvers, so maybe he's gonna go in a slightly more money-ish direction. Can't say with any certainty whether that's right or wrong. It's honestly not even unreasonable to get like a rebuild in this deck, I think, on account of, I mean, you've got like a lot of stuff here that can manipulate your deck. And so rebuild would let you like buy duchies, dungeon them into the discard, or then rebuild them back into provinces. So it's, I don't know, kind of like a little non-terminal +3. It's still not amazing, but it's something to consider. In fact, it's something that would be more likely to come up if I hadn't already hit a bunch of my estates. Hello, Capitan. Let's take another settlers. That might not have been right, but it's looking okay. These are horrible boons. I want a mulligan. So much for not getting more silvers. Oh, I probably should have done Sun's Gift before Mountain's Gift. Oh well. Probably just gonna pitch all this. Plus buy time. A funny little thing here is if you play Fool at the start of your turn with Captain, so like let's say he took the Lost in the Woods thingy, and he took it and I retook it. It's like I play my Captain as Fool. Because it's the start of your turn that you're doing that, like the Captain is playing the Fool while it's still technically like start of turn, you can play Fool and then immediately get Lost in the Woods from it the same turn. Not that that's like even all that strong, it's just funny. He's getting ahead on captains. Now, to be fair, this isn't like the kingdom where that's the most concerning thing ever. Like, Captain is Captain, it's a good card. But like, the moment the settlers run, then the best target for captain is often just going to be guide, which is going to turn your captain into like a glorified caravan. I mean, I guess it's technically like a caravan that also gives plus action the following turn, but you don't need plus action. So it's basically just like a really expensive caravan, which is like not bad, but it's not like amazing or anything. He might just buy province here. The fact that he keeps playing lucky coins makes me think he's not trying to build very much. And in that case, greening early would not be unreasonable. Okay, now he took a market. Kind of getting mixed messages now. Okay. I do not want to top deck any of those. I think I do want to trash though. See, I could even discard for a boon here if I wanted to. I don't want to, but it's the thought that counts. Let us take another settlers now. Trash estate. Draw dungeon, play dungeon, discard. Our deck is going places. So I've got 11 money. I might want to take bustling villages. Like, it takes some work here, but I think that they can be made into labs. You discard the settlers with your dungeons and or sentry and or artificer even. And then you've got a bustling village that draws you a card. I could consider rebuild. I mean, I would have to buy a duchy too. I could buy like duchy rebuild. But like I could do it. I'm also not sure how much I want to trash these last few coppers. Like, the coppers with settlers are minimally intrusive. In fact, probably actively helpful. I think I kind of like the idea of just taking 2 bustling villages here. Like, I've got 4 coppers and 3 settlers. I think I could make something out of this. Maybe it's like bustling village and market. Like, I have 3 buys right now because of Forest's Gift, but I wouldn't on future turns. I could also do bustling and captain. Did I play the captain this turn? No, I played captain last turn. I don't need a captain right now. So I think I want to bustle. And a second market. Like, if I were in Naismith's position of having 2 estates still, I think I would have much more strongly considered taking a rebuild there. But buying a rebuild that turn would have meant having to buy a duchy, or else not being able to use it, in which case why am I buying it this turn instead of the following turn? I'm talking about it a lot. I have no idea if I ever actually plan on getting a rebuild. It's just something I've been thinking about. Right, he's got 9. That's good for me. 10 is a much, much better number than 9, just given how much better the 5s are than the 3s and 4s. Case in point, there are no 4s. I mean, Lucky Coin's a 4, but not one you can buy. I still don't quite get what he's doing. Like, he took a lot of silvers for someone trying to build, But he also took a market instead of provincing. And like, why are you getting plus buy if you're just gonna build the single province? That confuses me. Like, I think he's trying to do things here, but he should have played that lucky coin rather zealously. Okay, he's taken rebuild already. Like I was saying, I feel like it makes more sense from his position than mine, given that that he still has estates in his deck. I think I might trash one more copper. 4 is probably more than I need, right? I only have 3 settlers anyway. Not that like the number of coppers needs to be identical to the number of settlers or anything, but it's nice when things match. Just gonna play a guide now. Market, okay. Use the artificer. What are those bottom cards? A bustling village, a settlers, and a dungeon. I wish my draws were slightly different. I would like to have discarded settlers to artificer, but I can't both discard the settlers and still get to my bustle. It'll also be a little bit annoying if the settlers is on the bottom, or if the dungeon is on the top, because I think either of those will make my settlers not very effective. I could consider just leaving all of them on top. So what if I like discarded 5 cards here, and then bought a 5? I could also just buy the 2 5s and not discard anything. But discarding with Artificer lets me top deck it. Yeah, I think this is a little bit non-ideal as far as draws go. Do I want a 3rd dungeon? I could consider a 3rd dungeon. Like, dungeons kind of draw with the things I'm trying to do here. I discard 3 coppers for a dungeon. Then I play my settlers, draw the dungeon. But then I'm just like very likely only hitting like 7. I don't think I want the dungeon. I'm gonna discard 5. Top deck a bustling village. That's gonna be good because I have a dungeon and a settlers there, so I can play dungeon, discard settlers, and pick it up. Hopefully 2 of them, because I have 2 bustling villages now. And I still kind of want to get in on the rebuild action, but I think it's also still too soon for me. This is a nice starting hand. I mean, I would rather have the dungeon already in play, but this is the next best thing. So I'm not sure if it's realistic, but I want to have enough draw to be able to like do things with Artificer. I like Artificer a lot. Artificer, it takes a lot of draw to make it work well, so it's often just a peddler, but it's fun when you get to use the other effect. Like, Artificer was nice here for a second when I was picking up settlers, and now it's kind of dropping off again. Oh, he got Will-O-Wisp. That's a great boon. That's a wonderful boon. I love Will-O-Wisp. He's also trashing silvers again. Cutting his losses. Alright, he's got a third dungeon. It'd be nice if Captain could play dungeon, but it can't, because dungeon is a duration card. And Captain can't play duration cards. I imagine just because it would be confusing with like Captain itself stays out of play and then it plays another card that stays out of play. So what if like your Captain, which is out of play, plays a dungeon and then has to stay out of play an extra turn? That just adds, I guess, more rules confusion than needed. And so they cut it off at the pass by preventing Captain from playing dungeons. Alright, yeah, he's getting his rebuild thingy rolling. I do still kind of want to get in on that. A second, third rebuild. That's a lot of rebuilds. Look at all this draw. So much draw. Okay, so what if I were to discard 5 cards right now and pick up a Bustling Village? And what if 2 of those cards were coppers and 1 was a settlers? So like I put settlers on top and then I play Artificer and I discard settlers, 2 coppers, 2 silvers. Then I play the Bustling Village. I pick up settlers and I play those 2 settlers. That sounds pretty good, right? It actually doesn't really matter which one's on top. One, two, three, four, 5. Draw all the cards. Bottom deck to copper. That's a perfectly fine place for it. I want my coppers on top so I can discard them with the dungeons and pick them back up. Don't think I'm discarding anything here. I like to have 13. I could consider buying like a province and a 5. I mean, the rebuilds are kind of scary because the rebuilds mean he can like mill provinces at some point, and so it does discourage me from trying to build super big. Like the end of this turn, he'll be able, if he finds all his rebuilds, which is not super unlikely, then he can turn his duchy and estate into 2 provinces already. I still kind of just want Bustling Villages a lot. Captains are also not bad. Captain is draw. Captain is delayed draw though. Captain is less. Bustling Village is awkward draw because you have to discard settlers to get it. The Captain is delayed draw because you only get it every other turn. I think buying 2 caravans for 6 might be silly. I could do like Bustling Village, rebuild estate, and then get back into the rebuild thing. That might put me a bit behind though, relatively speaking. I could also just like rebuild duchy. I don't know. There's a lot of things I kind of want. I also kind of just want to start provincing. I wish I had 13. 13 I feel like would be much easier. Just buy province and a 5. We're just gonna do province and a 3rd dungeon, I guess. I'm indecisive, and that is the simpler thing to do here. With any luck, I'll play my captain as a guide this turn, I think. Not as a guide, as a fool. Let you get some boons. Feels stronger than just playing as a cantrip. Alright, the rebuilds are starting to do their work. It is just a weird kingdom. It's like kind of got a bunch of stuff going on. You discarded a rebuild there. That's interesting. I don't know why he did that. Maybe he's got his estate in hand already, and so he couldn't have played it. He could have milled the province. Maybe he just decided that wasn't worth it. Discard settlers and copper. Discard copper and province. Dungeon. So am I discarding settlers here? Well, I can play at least one of them first, because I've only got one bustling village left. And I don't need to discard them both. Let's see what we get from the Fool. Well, I guess that's how we're discarding it then. Do I want Earth Gift? My guess is no. Ditto for Flames. I'll resolve that one now. I don't want to trash my coppers. And now, do I want to gain anything here? My bottom two cards are an Artificer and I don't know what the last card is actually. What is the last card? I have no idea. I have 3 silvers, right? And 3 coppers. Those are all accounted for. It's not province. It's not bustling village. It's not settlers. Or is it settlers? Oh, I guess it's a settlers, isn't it? I've only got 1 settlers in my in play and 1 in the discard. That's what it is. It's a settlers and an artificer. Okay. Let's just not discard. So if I used Artificer now and discarded settlers, 2 coppers, province, silver, and then I pick up bustling village, and I play Artificer, I play bustling village, I wouldn't actually get to use the settlers, would I? That's a bummer. Maybe I'll just take something else then, like a market. How much money do I have right now? If I just played the Artificer normally, I'd have 3, 4, 6, 7, 13. That's a fine number. If I discard Settlers, copper, copper, province, silver, pick up a market. That doesn't work. I can't discard the settlers for that, can I? Yeah, I can. Settlers, copper, copper, province. Pick up market. Play artificer. Play market. Discard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe just take another silver, just for the money. Okay. Now I kind of want to rebuild for the pile pressure. I can mid-turn gain a duchy if needed, I think. It makes it harder for him to just like trivially take 2 provinces. If I can do province and rebuild province. I'm not super happy with my play of this game. I feel like I've like pondered a while on a lot of these buys and then like not come to a decision I'm totally happy with. And like I've bought like a decent set of cards, but it's really hard to say I've like bought the optimal set of cards. I feel slightly behind. I'm not sure if that's like, it might just be the residual effect of being player 2. Player 2 is just gonna be slightly behind, especially on a strong kingdom like this one. It's not super strong, but like we're nearing the end game and it's turn 12. That's pretty strong. That does not look like an amazing turn from him though. I don't know if I can, like if he just buys 1 province here, I don't know if I can do triple. That might be tough. Like certainly not, I don't think I can do like truly acquiring 18 more points. But there's a question as to whether I could do like a province and then like mill provinces with rebuild. Gaining just 1 province wouldn't be enough points, but I could do like artificer for a rebuild, artificer for a duchy, and then play both rebuilds. 1 rebuild gains me a province. 1 rebuild just mills the province back into province, and then I buy the last province. That might be more than my deck can do, but I'm not sure. He might avoid it. Like, it would not be unreasonable for him to just buy 2 duchies here. That might be the best play. He's got rebuilds. Duchies are fine. Yeah. Captain first, I guess. I finally get a Will-O-Wisp. That's nice. Top deck it. I do not think that I want to discard for Lost in the Woods here. Please draw. Darn it. It's not an amazing draw, that's for sure. This is in fact a rather lackluster draw. Perhaps I should have played the captain normally for like, play it as a guide. I'm unhappy with my draw. I guess we're not using the artificer. Not getting to activate these bustling villages is rather sad. So I should probably put something on the discard for rebuild to hit. If I discard 2 for an estate, then that leaves me with 5, 7, 9, 11 money. If I discard 5 for a province, not for a province, 5 for a duchy, that leaves me with 7 money. I think I prefer the duchy line. Sorry, the discard to get an estate and then gain a duchy line. That's what I meant. And then I can just buy 2 more duchies. Weird game for sure. I still feel behind. I think I'm behind. The 3 rebuilds are scary, especially because he probably has most or all of them in his hand right now. This next turn of mine is also looking to be not so hot. I don't have anything nice in play coming in, dungeons or captain or whatever. The tricky part is like I went a little bit harder for the settlers and bustling villages. I got like 6 of them to his 2. And they're a nice draw if you line them up. Like they can be laboratories. But they're tricky to line up and often inconvenient. And for example, last shuffle I had some trouble making use of those bustling villages. That can put you in a bad spot. Okay, so he's lowered provinces to 3. I feel like I can't do triple province this turn at least. That would require quite a draw from the starting position. I've still only got the 1 rebuild, and I would probably have to gain a second one mid-turn. And my deck is not in a position to do that. Those are at least pretty bad boons, all things considered. So yeah, with perfect draws here, I'm pretty sure I could win this turn. If I just drew all the right cards in the right orders, I think I could take 3 provinces. The odds of that, I think, are rather low, however. And in the absence of taking 3 provinces, I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to do. Taking an estate is weird. I think that sets me up to just like take a duchy and then his estate is just being kind of awkward for his rebuilds. It might be correct nonetheless, just for the point's sake, even if not for the rebuild target aspect. Don't reveal good cards, Sentry, reveal bad cards. Having to play these 2 settlers early is kind of awkward, but I didn't see a way around it. It does shut down this bustling village thingy, though. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of inclined to just take the duchy. Maybe his rebuilds trip up on the estate. I could also just take the province. Man, there's a very real risk that he just doubles, doesn't he? So he played 2 of his rebuilds. Did he not find his last rebuild? What happened there? Yeah, he only played 2 rebuilds. Perhaps there's a rebuild on top in this hand. That makes provincing somewhat concerning to me. Yeah, I think I'm just taking the duchy. And then, is an estate better than nothing for me? It might be. The point situation is kind of tight here. And then I just have to like, if I play my rebuild, I just have to hope it doesn't hit estate. But I do have a bunch of duchies. Granted, I also might just not get another turn. You never know. With a rebuild, it's possible to have just like a bunch of them in hand all at once. On the upside, this busing village is going to do good work for me. My hope is that he can't do like a true double province here. Like if he takes a province, ooh, that's not a good hand, is it? That in fact looks like a very bad hand to me. I think I'm gonna discard Dungeon, and I like all the rest of these cards. Maybe Artificer has to go. I've got Settlers down there, so I want these bustling villages. I think I'm discarding an Artificer. It is weird to me that the log has me look through the discard pile twice. I'm not sure why that happens. Here's my best guess. I think the first look through your discard pile is the part of Bustling Village that explicitly says look through your discard pile. And then I suspect that there's probably some like official ruling out there about like whenever you can retrieve a card from your discard pile, go back and look for it, and then you get to look through your discard pile. And so I think the second list of all the cards is coming from the like put it in your hand part of the card. That's my guess. It could also just be like a bug. Maybe it's not supposed to show up twice. All right. In any case, can I do 3 provinces here? I don't know. Probably not, right? But I can score a bunch of points. And if I can score a bunch of points, then it becomes harder for him to do things. Because like rebuild can take provinces, but it only gets 3 points per province, which is worse than getting 6 points per province. Just take all the things. Top deck to Bustling. That's not a bad card to have. The estate scares me for the same reason I was discussing a second ago about him taking an estate. I took it for the points, but it can really trip up your rebuild. So I could Artificer for a second rebuild. That would guarantee me 2 provinces. I'm not sure I'm getting the 3rd province though, because I don't have enough money. Maybe I take a leap of faith with the Fool. He's gotten a bunch of shitty boons out of the way, hasn't he? There's no... Actually, Sun wouldn't be so bad here, actually. He's gotten Earth and Sky out of the way. So maybe I just Captain boon now and see what we get. These aren't good. Dang it. Okay, all the good boons are on the bottom, apparently. I can take a silver here. And well, I have to take a silver here. But I can top deck a silver here if I decide that I want that. I think I probably don't want to try to do the like gain a second rebuild thing. I don't think I can empty here. I need more money for that. So I think what I want to do is probably just like rebuild into a province and buy a province. The fact that there's an estate down there, though, is troublesome. What exactly is the composition of my victory cards right now? I've got one estate, and I got 24 points from other things. I think 12 of that is provinces, and 12 of that is duchies. So if I name province, I'm like 3/4 likely to get a province. Because I got 3 duchies down there and an estate. That sounds right, right? I bought a duchy, and then I bought 2 duchies, and I gained a duchy once. So yeah, I got 4 duchies, one of which is in my hand at the moment. I could also name a state to guarantee I hit province. Then I'm only like 60% likely to turn duchy into province, but I could also mill a province. That would lose to him buying province, right? But it would win versus him rebuilding into province. I think I want the silver on the top. The silver is money. And it guarantees I can afford province. So if I like discarded settlers, 3 coppers, duchy for a rebuild, then I play bustling, I play settlers, I'd have at least 4 money, likely at least 5 money. That's not so bad, is it? Now I'm reconsidering this rebuild line. That is bad. I was thinking with 5 money I could buy a duchy, but with 5 money I cannot buy a duchy because duchies are empty. So I'd rather not do the rebuild thing, would I? I can discard settlers, copper, duchy. Put a silver on top and draw a silver. Does that help me at all? Like if I want 8, I've already got 8 in hand. If I do settlers, duchy, 3 coppers, then I'm hitting 5, which is not as helpful. Well, actually, I guess, what if I like rebuilt 2 provinces and then bought 3 estates? I actually think I like that. Yeah, I think I'm talking myself back into the rebuild line. Confirm discarding. Artificer is not a bad card to draw either. There's some chance that I could actually win here if I drew anything worth money. Yeah, what if I just play the Artificer? If I hit... Oh, this is... Alright, well, I've just passed the buck to the Sentry now. No, this is actually... This is guaranteed. This is guaranteed. I can use the Artificer. I'm going to discard nothing. And I'm going to top deck a copper. Now I'm going to play the Sentry. Now I don't want to trash any of that stuff. I can discard. It doesn't matter. Now I just name a state, and I mill 2 provinces and buy a province. Oh boy, that was a tough last turn, and a stressful one. That was a really stressful one. I did not think my deck was capable. I mean, I thought my deck was theoretically capable of it. I also thought it was very unlikely to happen. But it still happened, and that didn't even feel like particularly perfect shuffle, so maybe my deck was just like a little bit better than I thought it was. Whew.